We've been singing these anthems for decades, but many of those familiar hooks hide stories most listeners completely miss.
Oh, I wish that I knew what I know now.
From dark inspirations to tracks that were fundamentally misunderstood.
He's just an excitable boy.
Here are 7 classic rock songs that aren't nearly as innocent as they sound. Number 7. The Beatles, Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer deep down on her.
This cheerful music hall ditty off Abbey Road has a dark story hidden underneath the happy harmonies and McCartney's choir boy delivery. The real meaning is still dividing fans after all these years. The character, Maxwell Edison, is a medical student who murders people with a hammer. He bludgeons Joan, who's studying pataphysical science, then his teacher, and even a judge. The chorus spells it out. Bang, bang, Maxwell's silver hammer came down upon her head. Clang, clang, Maxwell's silver hammer made sure that she was dead. What inspired Paul to write such a twisted song? He called it an analogy for when something goes wrong out of the blue.
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer made sure that she was.
For the rest of the band, that something was the song itself. Ringo famously called it the worst session ever, claiming it went on for weeks. Between the January rehearsals and the final July sessions, it certainly felt that way. Paul's perfectionism over the track only intensified the friction within the group. George Harrison was vocal about his disdain, calling it a fruity song, while Lennon dismissed it as granny music. Lennon didn't even play on the finished track, and he was still recovering from a car crash during that period. To get that signature clang, they actually brought a real anvil into Abbey Road. Fans remain split. Some find the dark British humor hilarious, while others are just creeped out.
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer made sure that she was.
The next sounds like a ballad about a long-lost love, but it's really about a young man losing his innocence. Number 6, Rod Stewart, Maggie May.
Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore.
The folksy sound of the mandolin and acoustic guitars on this track makes it feel like a summer love song, but the lyrics tell a different story. All you did was wreck my bed and in the morning kick me in the head, Stewart sings bitterly. He feels used and like his life has gone off track. Stuck between gathering up his books and going back to school or finding himself a rock and roll band.
Oh, Maggie, I wish I'd never seen your face.
Stewart later said the song was more or less a true story, based on losing his virginity at 16 to an older woman at the 1961 Beaulieu Jazz Festival, and he hardly painted it like a fantasy. Even in the lyric, the morning sun is unflattering. His single was issued with Maggie May as the B-side to Reason to Believe, but DJs flipped it, listeners responded, and it climbed all the way to number 1. For decades, many heard it as a rough-edged, coming-of-age story. Now, some listeners hear something darker in it.
Oh, Maggie, I wished I'd never seen your face.
Next up, an innocent love song is revealed to not actually be innocent or a love song. Not in the traditional sense, anyway. Number 5, The Beatles, Got to Get You Into My Life.
Got to get you into my life.
Everything about this song screams boy meets girl, boy falls head over heels in love. But here's the thing, it's not about a girl at all, it's about marijuana. McCartney was introduced to pot by Bob Dylan in 1964, and he later revealed that this song was written as an ode to it. A fact he didn't publicly confirm until 1997 in his biography, many years from now. He said that when he wrote it, only he knew he was singing about pot.
Got to get you into my life.
John Lennon, years later, knew it was pointing somewhere mind-altering. In a 1980 interview, Lennon guessed the song was about taking acid. He was on the right track, but had the wrong substance. Most people had no idea, and knowing what we know now, it feels obvious, especially with lines like, another road where maybe I could see another kind of mind there.
Another road where maybe I could see another kind of mind. Hey!
From a tribute to weed disguised as a love song to an old man's hard-earned regrets disguised as a feel-good song. Number 4, Faces, Ooh La La.
Oh, I wish that I knew what I know now.
Even if you weren't a fan of Faces back in the day, you probably heard their 1973 classic in movies or TV commercials. It's always used in a happy, feel-good moment, but if you pay attention to the lyrics, you'll see it's not such a happy story at all. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. Sounds pretty nostalgic, but when you get to the verse you realize it's not just nostalgia. There's bitterness in it too. The song is a conversation between an old man and his grandson. The old man warns the boy about women, glamour, and about how beauty can mask heartbreak.
I wish that I knew what I know now.
But the grandson brushes it off. He thinks his grandfather is just a bitter old man, and the old man accepts it. "You'll have to learn just like me, and that's the hardest way," he tells the boy. What makes it work is the vocal. Rod Stewart passed on the lead vocal because he said it wasn't in his key. Co-writer Ronnie Lane tried to sing it too, but that version didn't stick. So guitarist Ronnie Wood sang it instead. His gentle, slightly ragged delivery softened the bitterness into something that sounds warm and nostalgic.
I wish that I knew what I know now.
So far, a Beatles sing-along about a serial killer, a folk favorite hiding a teenage boy's encounter with an older woman, and a love song that was really about weed. But now the list gets deeper. A protest anthem so misunderstood even a president got it wrong. A wedding favorite its own writer called sinister and ugly. But first, a sweet doo-wop throwback hiding one of the sickest stories in classic rock. Number 3, Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy.
He's just an excitable boy.
This upbeat and catchy Zevon tune with its bright, lively saxophone and Linda Ronstadt singing harmonies sounds like something you'd hear at a sock hop. It's just one of those songs that you can't help but sing along to. But then you hear the lyrics. The excitable boy rubs pot roast on his chest. And if that's not weird enough, he bites an usherette's leg. Then he takes little Susie to prom, and the rest is straight out of a true crime documentary. But the song sounds so bouncy that most listeners didn't notice. And that fits the song's theme perfectly. Because even after the boy digs up poor Susie's body and builds a cage out of her bones, the chorus excuses it.
Excitable boy. Well, he's just an excitable boy.
Well, he's just an excitable boy. The cheerful dismissal after a murder mirrors how people brush off warning signs until it's too late. And to make matters weirder, one of the song's most bizarre details comes from real life. Zevon later admitted that pot roast incident was inspired by something he had actually done. One night, while eating pot roast cooked by guitarist Leroy Marino, he got excited, ripped open his shirt, and smeared it on his chest. The album went platinum and hit number 8 on the Billboard 200. Audiences didn't run from the darkness, they embraced it.
Excitable boy, excitable boy. And he raped her and killed her.
Next, a song so misunderstood even a presidential campaign got it wrong. Number 2, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Born in the USA.
As soon as the shimmering synth and booming drums kick in, you know what song it is. Everything about this stadium rock classic sounds like it should be played during a fireworks show on the 4th of July. Everything except the lyrics. Because underneath this 80s anthem, fist-pumping energy is a protest song about a working-class Vietnam veteran the country has no use for. The song tells the story of a man who gets caught in a little hometown jam, gets a rifle put in his hands, and is sent off to kill. When he comes home, the jobs at the refineries aren't there for him. And when he goes to the VA, he gets bureaucracy instead of help. If you never noticed that story before, don't worry, you're not alone. In 1984, Ronald Reagan's campaign tried to wrap it in patriotic glow. Reagan even name-dropped Springsteen at a campaign stop in Hamilton, New Jersey. But Springsteen pushed back. At his next concert, he joked that Reagan must not have heard Nebraska, then introduced Johnny 99, a song about an unemployed auto worker who commits murder. Years later, Springsteen stripped Born in the USA down on his Ghost of Tom Joad tour, making the protest undeniable. But the original version is still out there, tricking new fans into thinking it's just patriotic heartland rock. But the number one spot goes to the most misunderstood love song ever written. Number 1, The Police, Every Breath You Take.
Every smile you fake, every claim you stick, I'll be watching.
It gets played regularly at weddings. The gentle guitar arpeggios, the soft rock tempo, Sting's smooth delivery. Everything about it sounds like true love, except for the fact that Sting has admitted that it's about obsession, surveillance, and control. He wrote it in 1982 during the fallout of his separation from Frances Tumulty. Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. That's obsessive control, not romance. But people don't hear any of that. They hear a guy who loves a woman so much he can't stop thinking about her. They project their own feelings onto the song and never pay attention to the words. The meaning is right there in every line. It's not even hidden. Still, millions of people choose not to hear it. Sting himself has said the song is very, very sinister and ugly. When a couple once told him it was their wedding song, his only thought was, well, good luck.
Every vow you break, every smile you.
That's 7 not-so-innocent songs that will leave you second-guessing what you're singing along to. Which one surprised you the most, and what other song should have made the list? Let us know in the comments.